Thank you, Mr. President.
Absolutely.
Thank you, and thank you, members of the City Council, and thank you, members of the public that are here. I listened to this conversation just now, and every one of the City Council members who stood up is very passionate about the fact that for the last 4 years, you have worked as hard as you can to see if you can satisfy a million different people who have come before you and asked you for some help. And throughout this conversation, I've heard terms like, we should do this as quick as we can. We have to do this now or it's not going to happen. Or our feet are being held to the fire is a term that I've heard. I got to just for a second explain, when I hear things like my feet are being held to the fire, let me explain to you what that means to me. We throw out these terms here about patience very, very quickly and easily. It comes off your tongues very simply. I am a patient. I have been public and one of the only people in this country who has really literally had the intestinal fortitude to step up and say to everyone, from Maine to Maryland to New York to New Jersey to Arizona to New Mexico, every state that's passed an ordinance or passed a bill for medicinal marijuana and access for patients, I have tried to be involved in and will continue to be involved in because it's about patience. Holding feet to the fire. Let me explain something to you. For the last 10 years, from morning till night, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, I have absolute neuropathic pain through my feet, my shins, my side, and my face, all plotted and tracked at everywhere from USC, UCLA, UC San Francisco, Johns Hopkins, Harvard, and the Nobel Institute. Every one of these places that I go to see doctors, every single one of those doctors has recommended for me to continue using marijuana because I came to a point that no longer opiates don't do it. Last night, I left here, the City Council, at 5 o'clock. Had to go to a meeting, and I'm sorry, because of my MS, I also suffer from extreme depression, something I can't deal with. And what you're getting from me is a called emotional lullaby because I have no control over my emotions when they get going. Last night I left here, I had to go to an office. My own mistake. I walked out of the office, tried to find my car and driver. My phone died. I had to walk 14 city blocks. Let me just explain something to you. You walk in and out of here every day and don't think about your feet. Mine, I have to think about every second of the day before I even open my mouth to talk. Last night I had no medication on me when I left because I ran out. Last night was a really miserable evening for me. Last night I could have picked up the phone and called any one of the dispensaries that you now want to put in the lottery and gone to them and asked them for some medication, and I can get it. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm not knocking all of them because I've not been to all 850. But there wasn't one I was going to go buy something from last night because the last time I got something here, I got something with butane in it. Let me also tell you about butane. For a person who has a neurological disease, it can almost throw you into a seizure. So what are you going to do? You're going to open up today and vote and say that we're going to limit the number because I get it. I'm traveling all over the country testifying and attempting to bring safe access for patients. On Monday, I will be in Maryland. On Tuesday, I'll be in Delaware meeting with governors and representatives of both legislators on this issue. But here, today, you may pass a bill that says we're going to try to clean up Los Angeles dispensaries, and we're going to let, a certain group apply because they've been members in good standing, and these are who you're going to put in your lottery. And there's ad after ad after ad in here. I'm not saying that every operator in this town is a bad operator, but nowhere in your bill have you put anything in here that talks about how you're going to determine out of that, whoever applies for this lottery, who's a quality operator and who's not. And at the end of the day, you pass that bill today, yeah, you may solve a couple of problems of people who are yelling at you and causing some difficulty because you need to rush. But you're not solving a problem for any patient. The bills were written, this state law was written to provide safe access to patients. And unfortunately, I've been involved in the lobbying from this effort all over this country, and have assisted the hijacking of this effort by a lot of organizations who aren't doing this because they give a damn about me or any other patient. They're doing this because they're trying to make money. You have an opportunity today to do a couple of things. I had a really wonderful opportunity to talk to Councilman Alazan and to Councilwoman Hahn and to Mr. Koretz, and I also spoke to Councilman Wesson. I wish I would have gotten an opportunity to see you all yesterday, and unfortunately, why did I jump in here at the last minute? Because it wasn't until the last minute that you can actually get through this ordinance and understand what it is that you have here. And when you look at the ordinance and you look at some of the things that have been written about it, one was that the city's medical marijuana ordinance was adopted on January 26, 2010, and became legally effective on June 7, 2010. It was enacted as a public safety measure to enable safe access to medical marijuana while regulating the number of operations of collectors in the city. The first line here is safe access. Not speed it up, get it done. Not get it done because we have to rush and make sure that we do. This is safe access, so why not stop for a second and take the time? 5 days. I heard the city attorney say that if we do this, if you miss it by 1 day, it's going to move it by 10. So it's 11 days. If you do it today, it's still going to take 10. Why not take a minute and just recognize that possibly there may not have been some things considered when this ordinance was written? Think about the fact that right now, even if you go to a lottery and you select from the existing dispensaries that are here, these are the people that you've complained about. But you'll select from them anyway. That's fine. Maybe there's an opportunity to set aside, I'm just throwing out ideas, set aside a group of those so that you can put together a panel to vet out and make sure that the people that are running these new collectives have quality access and safe access to patients in mind. And I'm not talking about being able to walk up to the storefront and walk in the door without getting shot. I'm talking about from the person vending who's giving me information and telling me that a particular brand may work and they have no idea what they're talking about. If we're going to do this and provide safe access, then let's roll up your sleeves. I'm bouncing around this country, again, at different municipalities, offering advice, and a lot of them are open. You don't have to just take mine. There are a lot of people out here who are coming to the table now that can give you advice on how to set this up. You have 100 possible candidates that will participate in a lottery. Why not make the lottery for 90? And I should also back and say, even in your own write-up of the bill, you say that the candidates for the lottery are candidates which up to this time were illegal. So you're going to take the same people, and that's going to be the people that you're going to now slice it down to and allow that 100 to actually administer this ordinance. There are a couple things that you can do. One is take the time to think about Representative Councilman Alacon's suggestion of putting together a committee that can vet out your applicants. The conversation took place here about the fact that there's no funding to vet out the number of applicants. It's not going to be here tomorrow. So if you're going to have to take a break and write an ordinance that I think will make the difference in what you wanted to achieve. And Mr. Smith said, no, but what you wanted to achieve, and that is to make sure that patients have safe access. I would say to you, sir, that if one of these is one of the hundreds, I as a patient don't have safe access. And right now you have no way, shape, or form of determining or stopping any one of these from applying.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time very much.